What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today is June the 2nd. I want to give you a quick pre-market update over some of the hot movers and what big money is doing today. Before we get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So we are officially in June, halfway through 2025. And so far, it seems to be hit and miss. So right now, you do have manufacturing data coming out at 9 a.m. Forecast for that is 49. And so 50 is going to be a key pivot. Anything below 50 shows more of a contraction. Anything above 50 shows more of an expansion. So just kind of keep that in mind. But I do feel like the market is actually going to be wanting some negative data to justify rate cuts. So just don't be surprised if it does come in a little bit lower, that the market kind of moves higher because of that. Currently, you do have the futures a little bit red. So Dow is down 0.34, S&P down 0.51, NASDAQ down 0.64. A lot of that is just because of the market now digesting what came out after hours Friday, and that was Trump increasing the steel tariffs from 25 to 50%. Also, in addition to that, just looking as though that there's some kind of increased tensions now between China and the States. So it's not necessarily the best. I'm not here to say it's going to be that same type of April 8th type of scenario where we go down like 10%, but clearly the market's somewhat fearful, as you can kind of tell. But fear and greed index honestly is broken. As I've mentioned in the last couple pre-market videos, it is under the greed category, 61. So in theory, people's appetite for risk is on the table. It's not really resemblant based on all the stocks so far today. So I do feel realistically we should be under the neutral. But again, this hasn't really moved all that much in a while. But getting right to it, SoFi is down 0.75, just piggybacking off the market. No news, no SEC filings from them. Shorts, 13.69% of the free floats being shorted. I don't really anticipate them to be that active today. Most likely it'll be Tuesday and also Friday based on the data points at that time. That's where they'll be a little bit more active. So again, today might be a relatively quiet day from them, but with it right now at 13.21, it is trading right now between these 2 points. So this pivot in this S1. So 13.23 is going to be that key point to really get over early on. That way you can kind of see a little bit of a recovery. Of course, manufacturing data will move all that, but 13.23, just watch for that. 12.80 will be a strong support, and then 13.66 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. So most likely, depending on the results of the data, it will land between this R1 and the pivot, or the pivot in this S1. I don't see any extreme moves outside of that range. Moving on, you do have this right here, ticker is CLF. They are up because of that tariff news associated to steel. So that's a good thing, causing it to go up 24%. As far as shorts, 14.49% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 70.33 million shares. I do anticipate them to be fairly active today. Even during the overnight though, this was up closer to, I think it was like 30%. So shorts most likely are starting to step up their game, and probably a certain level of profit taking at the same time, because that happens even if a stock is up like 5%, you have people taking profits, let alone 30. But right now, with it at 728 pre-market, it is trading between this pivot and this S1. So 673 is going to be a strong support. 773 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. In my opinion, I do feel like we will actually touch this S1, most likely bounce off of that and trend a little bit higher, possibly to this pivot point, or even better yet, above that. So if you're a day trader or whatever else, just kind of watch for those strong support levels and overall. Moving on, Lucid. So Lucid's been a very interesting beast. Over the last 5 days, down 13.23%. For whatever reason, it is top 10 most heavily traded pre-market, despite no news, no SEC filings or anything along those lines. So definitely a very weird scenario is playing out with them. I do anticipate shorts to be fairly active as what they have been. So 30.79% of the free float is being shorted. So I do anticipate shorts to really be active, maybe get to that 31% range. So it's kind of crazy if you think about it. So yeah, I don't know. The only other time it's been like that was in September 2024, but at that time they kind of reduced their percentage to like 27%. So yeah, all in all, shorts absolutely hate Lucid, but despite that though, you are seeing a abnormal amount of volume. So something just to kind of keep in mind. Right now though, with it at 224 pre-market, it is trading right now between this pivot and this S1. So 218 is going to be a strong support and very much could be touched today. Flip side, 241 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. And just given the negative momentum and just everything else, I don't really see that being touched. So I think right now Lucid does need to put out a good catalyst to really get it out of this negative downtrend. So let me know your viewpoint on that. Moving on is ticker LYRA, up 400 and or now 522% because of this right here. So biotechs and whatever pharmaceutical companies aren't really my forte. So essentially go through this and do your own due diligence to see if this is justified or not. But this clearly is getting attention of big money. But as of right now, 15.59% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 146,000 shares overall are being shorted. So maybe the market's also seeing this as a squeeze play because that does meet the criteria that the market generally likes. So heavily shorted and a low float. So again, maybe you might have it go up a lot higher than where it is. Do your own due diligence and all the other fun jazz. It is well above all the key fib levels, so I'm not going to waste your time with that. And then last but not least, Nvidia is getting a lot of volume despite no real substantial news. It just might be associated obviously to that increased tension with China. So that's why it's down 0.58%. 1.05% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 245.33 million shares overall are being shorted. With it right now at 134, it is trading above all the key fib levels, so it is essentially very overbought. So just kind of wedge bound between that 132 and 160. Just kind of watch for that 132 to be that holding support level. During the overnight, I believe it did actually touch that, so it might be bouncing off of that. During the overnight, getting huge amounts of volume. I think there was around 400,000 shares being traded, and for that being done overnight, that's kind of significant. So let me know your thoughts on Nvidia and these other stocks that big money seems to be focusing on today. Is there any other stocks that's floating your boat that you're really going to be watching? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And then one final thing, pop over to my Patreon and give buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, many of which have been absolutely on point. So definitely pop over and take a look. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.